Okay. So we have multiples. We were talking, remember, think back when we were talking about factoring. We said that there's different numbers multiplied together equals a factor, right? That's one of the factors. A factor. Factors are right along the same lines as a multiple. A multiple of an answer is the multiple of a number are the answers we get when we multiply the number by 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. Multiples of 10 all end in 0. So let's review. What would be, using what we know here, what would be a multiple of 2? Lewis. Using this idea here. Multiples of 10 all end in 0. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Multiples of 2. 2. Isabel. 4. Robert. 6. Leo.
8.
Haley. 10. Gilberto. 12. All right, you guys get that?
Yes.
Multiples of 5. Let's do this all together. Ready? 5.
10, 13, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100.
Good. All right. So, are you getting the idea of what a multiple is? How about something a little bit harder? This is, I know this isn't one that's going to come off the top of your head. 3.
It came off the top of their heads.
Roberto, 3.
3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30.
Okay, good deal.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Leo. I'm going to do it all your guys. Sorry. So you guys get the idea, okay? You get what multiples is, right? All right. Turn it into 178. We got multiples. You get what multiples is. So, any multiple of 10 can be written just like it shows in your book. Okay? 1 times 10 equals 10. 2 times 10 equals 20. 3 times 10 equals 30. We can show this as a multiplication algorithm. Ooh, crazy fifth grade science or math word again. I know. What's an algorithm? Haley, what's an algorithm? Remember we did division algorithms earlier in the week? Well, remember we went over algorithm at the start of it. Don't look it up. I could ask somebody to look it up. What is it, Justice? Do you remember? What's another word for algorithm? We did the division algorithm. Jasmine, what's an algorithm? A specific way of doing things. So the division algorithm we did earlier in the week. No, it means a way of doing things. It's a method. So we know multiples, we can use the multiplication algorithm to show why mathematically we know that 10s go in order. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay? So we know 4 times 10 equals 40. Every time that we multiply with a 10, you're going to have a 0 in it. Correct? Or true or false? True. Multiples of 100. Ooh, we're getting into multiples of 100. Our minds are going to be blown.
Oh, I've been waiting for this day.
I didn't even ask a question yet. Easy. Multiples of 100. Every time that you have a multiple of 100, you're going to have 2 zeros. Correct?
Yes.
And how do we know that? By using what? The multiplication Algorithm. Shows right there. 2 times 100 is 200. 3 times 100 is 300. 4 times 100 is 400. So on and so forth. Okay? So now we're gonna put our thinking caps on. And we are going to analyze. When we multiply by a multiple of 10, we may multiply by the digits in front of the 0, and then multiply by 10. So we are going to show, this by multiplying 25 times 30. Pull out your whiteboards. Pull out your whiteboard. Kayla. Okay, we're gonna get to that because I do have we have a cool little cheat code. Yeah, I know you guys love the cheat codes. Okay, hold on. We'll get to it. Write down 25 times 30. Do not do the problem. All you're doing is writing 25 times 30. Doesn't matter. Just write 25 times 30 on your whiteboard. Do not do the math problem. All you are doing is writing 25 times 30. Stop. Put the markers down. Stop. Put your markers down. 25 times 30. We know, as intelligent 5th grade math people. Shh. Okay. Jasmine, last time. Next time we're going to flip down. Okay? We know as intelligent 5th grade math people that there's a cool property that lets us do things with our numbers. Anybody remember we did this last week? It's a property, Lewis. The associative property. We can do that with addition and multiplication, correct? And what does that allow us to do? Allows us to switch the numbers around. So can we take 30 and break that apart and turn that into, put your markers down. Can we take 30 and break that apart knowing that 3 times 10 is the same as 30? Yes. So breaking that apart, let's now write down 3 times, let's write it across, write it horizontally. 3 times 10 times 25. Or actually do it the way we have it up here. 25 times 3 times 10. I'm doing this right here. 25 times 3 times 10. Write it horizontally. Is that the same as saying 25 times 30? Yes. Absolutely. Now the example shows us that we can now think 25 times 3, correct? Because using the associative property, we can do these any way that we want to now. What's 3 times 25? And 9. 3 times 25. Huh? 75. And knowing then that we're multiplying by 10, it's cheat code time. Cheat code time. If we're multiplying a whole digit by 10, add a 0. That's all you have to do. It's so easy. It's a cheat code. 3 times 25 we know is 75. Times 10 we don't even have to do the math. Because we as smart, intelligent 5th grade math people know that all you have to do is add that 0. Which is the same as saying 75 times 10. What's the answer? 750.
Like 750.
Okay. Page 179. Bless you. Page 179. It's Friday and we're getting a word problem.
Yes.
I know. All right. Whiteboard's down. Pen's down. What is the first? We see a word problem on the top of page 179. What are we doing first? What are we doing first?
Oh.
I'm going to the six. Viviana, what are we doing first? We have to understand it, absolutely. So when we're to start understanding the problem, what are we going to do first? What are we going to do first, Viviana? We're going to read the problem twice. Last season, a college basketball player played an average of 40 minutes per game and played in 37 games. How many minutes did that player play last season? Last season, a college basketball player played an average of 40 minutes per game and played 37 games. How many minutes did that player play last season? Pull out your whiteboards. You can now write 37. Write this vertically this time. 37 times 40. Let that 0 hang out there. Drop that 0 down and multiply 37 times 4. The hanging 0 trick. The cheat code.
I had a student a couple years ago that said, right in the middle of this lesson, hang out. Every time I do this kind of math, I think, I can't think of who that was. But he said, you're cool, Zero. Let's hang out.
Cool, 0, let's hang out. Hang that 0 out there. 37 times 4 equals what? 37 times 4 equals? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead, do it. Brian, 37 times 4. Huh? 37 times 4. 37 times 4. 148. We have the hanging 0. We drop that sucker right down.
Oh, it's 37.
And we have 1,480. Let's go back to our problem-solving strategy. Does that answer make sense? Yes. Justice, why does that answer make sense? Give us kind of an idea. Why does that answer make sense? How many minutes did he play? How many minutes did he play per game? So we know the answer is going to be over 40 minutes, right? And we know that we're multiplying two-digit numbers, so we're probably going to be in the 4-digit range for the total, correct? So that logically makes sense. When you write down your answer on homework, make sure that you write 1,480 what? What's it asking for at the very end of the question, Xander? Yes, it's asking minutes. So make sure that you write down in your homework or on the test that you're answering it completely. 1,480 minutes. No. Tuesday. We're doing our pretest tonight. Example number 2. Vinny, what are we doing first? What are we going to do first when we read this?
We're gonna read the number set. What's it called again? Number sentence?
Problem.
Alright.
Word problem.
Word problem a few times.
We're going to read it twice. Let's read it twice. Chandra sold 10 tickets to the school play to friends and relatives for $3.75 per ticket. How much money did Chandra collect from ticket sales? Chandra sold 10 tickets to the school play to friends and relatives for $3.75 per ticket. How much money did Chandra collect from ticket sales?
Oh.
Put your boards down. Stop for a minute and listen. Haley, what are we looking for? What are we looking for at the end here?
We're looking for how much money Sandra collected from the items.
Very good. How would you set this up? As a math problem. Talking about what we just did. $3.75. What can we do with the next number? Robert. We're going to multiply. And we sold 10 tickets. Do I really need to even do this one?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. All right, we're going to throw 10 out there. We're going to dangle that 0 out there, right? Yes. Absolutely, you can dangle. Dangle it out there. What's wrong with that number, though? Where'd it go? Oops. Here's another little cheat code. How many spots after the decimal do we have here? 2. How many spots after the decimal do we need down here? Cheat code. 2. If your original number has 2 points after the decimal spot, you need 2 spots after the decimal in the answer. No, not in multiplication. In multiplication, you're always going to have the same number of points after the decimal. We'll get into that later. That's a little quick, another cheat code. Okay? What is a multiple? What is a multiple, Xander?
A multiple pretty much a number that adds up to it, that's pretty much a factor.
Okay. It's a factor. It's numbers multiplied together, a multiple. Dimitri, what can we do when we have a 0 hanging out there? You just jot it right down. How about if you have 2 zeros? Put them both down. How about if I have 7 zeros?
Put them all
Put them all down. Throw them all out there. As long as it's a multiple. Using the associative property. Put your boards down. Put your boards down. Listen. Juliana, knowing that we can use the associative property, what can we do with multiples of 10 to make it easier for ourselves? angle to 0, and we can also, if I give you 52 times 50, using the associative property, what can we do with those two numbers to make it easier for ourselves? Double number. Roberto, what can we do using the associative property? Remember we showed it in the example. We can take 52 and 50. What can we do with the 50?
Take it out.
We pull it down and turn it into what? Say it. 5 times. We're looking for 50, so we can break it up into 5 times, what, 5 times 10. 5 times 10. So now we have 52 times 5 times 10. A whole lot easier to break apart that way. Now we can do 52 times 5, add 0, we're all done. What if we did that with 100? Can we do it with 100? Say yes.
Yes.
Same principle, right? If I gave you 52 times 500, could you write down 52 times 5 times 100? Same thing, right? Drop your 2 zeros, multiply 52 times 5. Homework is going to be, well, we're gonna do the pretest too. We're gonna do the pretest for homework. 1 through 29. What are they? Odds, right? We're doing odds. That's for word work. Also for word work, or problem solving, or homework. Yeah. Oh, it's right here. I'm sorry. Pretest. We have a test on Tuesday. Juliana, put that away. We have a pretest on Tuesday. We have our test on Tuesday. This is the pretest. This is also going home for homework.
What?
Easy. It's everything we've been doing for the last 2 weeks. Here's what we're going to do on Here's what we're going to do on Monday. This is homework. Bring this back. We're going to go over this on Monday. If you have any questions. So what we're going to do, we'll do it. I'm going to look at it on Monday to make sure that you did it. And then we'll go back over it and make sure that everybody's clear as to what's going on. We'll go through all the problems. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Then you can take it home Monday night for a study guide. Yolanda. Yeah. Try and do it on your own. Don't have mom and dad. Listen, guys. Us sending this home and then having mom and dad sit down next to you and do it for you doesn't do you any good for your test on Tuesday. Sit down, try and work these out so that you can come back on Monday and you can say, Mr. J, I just didn't get number 22. It blew my head up. I sat there Sunday night and I tried. And then we can do it and we can make sure that you're understanding what it is that you don't understand. Okay? Do it. Try and figure it out. If you can't figure it out, we'll do it again on Monday, but try. Remember that wonderful word? We're gonna persevere.
So we have to persevere.
We have to persevere through these math problems. All right. Let's fill this up here.
I think it
I think I did day 4 yesterday. Instead of day 3. I haven't seen it. No, I'm not. I think I jumped today. Have I seen Group D? I didn't think so.
No, I haven't seen it all week till Wednesday.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I think I missed the day in there. So here's our schedule. you have your problem solving, so this is included in homework. So when you get to this rotation, we're gonna do homework.
You should
I
have
already
one
said that.
problem solving left on your paper.
You should have one problem solving left on your paper, and then one through, yeah, I know, you weren't here yesterday. 1 through 29, odds, and the pretest. Bring your math books, whiteboards, and markers to the back. Group A. Group A. Group A to the math table. To the math table! And we do not need a lot of discussion during this. Let's get through this quickly so we can get to our science and then we can get to jump to our awesome art project.